We're all gonna die.
What?
That's how I'm feeling.
It's okay. I feel the same, but also, what you gonna do for Big Mama's birthday? Because it's my birthday week, so we have to look at some positives.
Yeah, ups and downs all around.
Okay, guys. Hey, if you are listening, this is the Just Extra podcast with Jackie and Erica. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Erica. And breaking news came out, but we will get into that in this episode. If you can read the title, you already know what we're about to dive into. But per usual, we always start with our extra thoughts. Okay, this is where we recap or provide additional insights, learnings, recollections from our previous episode. And so our last episode, why are we still living in it? You sit in hurricanes. We talked about a couple of different things in that episode. You could see Jackson a new location again, so maybe she should kick us off.
As you can see, I'm still not in my space. I am in an Airbnb. This Airbnb is very nice, though. It's a really cute little studio. It's right by the medical center. Everything is pretty new. There's some things that could be better, but it is clean. It's quaint. No one has really been in it, so it just feels really good to be away for a little bit. It's a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel for the homeless population, because to think every night, where am I gonna sleep? And that was a struggle for me for the past week, because I'm like, okay, staying with my friend, staying with my other friend. Okay, let me get a hotel. Okay, hotels are getting very expensive. What can I do next? So shoot, even now, I was thinking about going on Craigslist to see what I could find, like a sublease or something. But just to give a quick apartment update, y'all, they are not going to do anything for my apartment because they cannot find any tangible proof that there was an infestation. So whatever I did to that apartment, because I bombed it twice, because again, if you guys heard from last week, they turned their phones off and they were not answering any emails for a week and a half. So I had to do what I had to do and go to Walmart myself, buy my items just to get ahead of this, because if I left this stuff for a week and a half, who knows what had happened to my apartment. So now they're like, well, we don't see anything live active moving. We're not going to treat your space, and we're not going to call the people up because we can't find anything. And I'm saying, and I'm literally, let me tell you, when I left you guys yesterday, I went to go check on my apartment, and I was just like, okay, I'm talking to the manager. Well, I guess he's like the associate that's there. He talked to his manager, and me and this bitch has been going back. See, 3 minutes. We've done all right. Okay. Okay. Improvement. Baby steps. So me and this lady, we have been going back at it, back and forth. I understand you just acquired this apartment and these problems have been going on for years, but now it's your problem to fix. So fix it. She sends him a text message. I'm talking to him, and he's just like, okay, well, this is what my supervisor told me. This is not my words. I just wanted to relay the message. She said that the pest control has not found anything live and active to, confirm that there is an infestation. Hence, they are not going to go up and treat it. And then wildlife came, and well, she called them, and they said there's no way that, quote unquote, these fruit flies or fleas or whatever, I really think they're fleas, y'all, came from having squirrels in my apartment. When I literally Googled this shit and said, hey, I had wild animals in my space, in the crawl space, I feel like this has something to do with it, and then the weather, having no power, made it even worse. They're like, there's no way that could happen.
You already know that I think that this whole state is stupid, because 1 + 1 does equal 2. But I don't think that they can count. So that's who you're talking to and who you're dealing with.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. So I'm just not in a position to move right now, because I realize it'll be more than the 1,700. I would have to pay 2 months worth of rent on top of the 1,700 break lease. So that's going to be upwards close to $4,000 to pay out of pocket, and that's just too much to pay for. And then I would have to move and do this other stuff. It's just too much. So what I am doing now is I'm going to take the rest of this week to decompress, but I'm also going to be cleaning up my space and just buying some materials because I feel like I'm going to have to do all of this myself. So that's it. That's enough ranting about that. Yeah.
Wait, okay, I have a question.
Sure.
Walgreens?
No, I'm not going to. I got to grow up. And we'll talk about that more in this episode. But it's time for me to grow up and stand on my own 2 feet. Like, he
Dang.
has helped me. He's done a lot for me. But that's just not what I'm trying to do right now. And also, he's a scumbag. So, whatever.
Okay, so speaking of men, my little extra thoughts as it relates to the last podcast. I know that we were trying to bop around to different men, or I was trying to see who was going to take us in as we were strays and whatnot. And I don't know. I'm like, how much time should I take? Because I have two things that I think are like interesting. One, I'm just like one of the people that was checking in. Okay, thanks for checking in. We appreciate you. Has been granted a nickname. Okay, we gave a new nickname. Okay, to a gentleman who I don't know. Are you gonna be around? Are you gonna be around? Should you get a nickname? Are we going to reference you? I mean, also breaking news. I just found out that you're gonna be in Portugal at the same time I'm gonna be in Portugal.
Oh. Well, maybe. Okay. That's interesting.
I posted on my stories, okay? So we got a response, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, send me the recommendations when you go, because I'm going." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, when are you going?" He's like, "I'm going in August," and I'm like, "I'm going in August." He's like, "I'm going the 10th through the 15th," and I said, "I'll be there the 12th through the 15th."
This is gonna be a fun time for you. See, I thought you were gonna get some brand new like Portugal peen, but I guess
That's what I would
not.
like. That's what I would like. That's what I would like. That is priority. Because guess what, ho? Okay, so your name is Dr. Seuss. Welcome. Welcome to the pod. And I think that, like, one, we were having this whole conversation about how I'm a boo thing, okay? And how he's going to a different location and was gonna be like doing the NBA, some with the NBA and whatever they're doing out in Vegas or whatever was happening. And I was like, oh yeah, well if you see a player, a ball player, send him my way.
Send them my
And he
way.
was like,
Shit.
okay. He was like, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I'm a hater. Okay, you've blessed me too much. Okay, that I'm just gonna be recommending you to other hoes. And I'm just like, well, what you want with me? What do you want with me?
What does he want?
Nothing. Some more okay, some more blessings, okay, but nothing really of value. So, we could link. I would love a meal. Pay for a glass of port wine. Thanks.
Like a good little date, especially if, say, you were just too busy working on this podcast because we will be, recording in bulk, you guys. Maybe you just didn't have enough time to just, socialize. And now you could just say, hey, Dr. Seuss.
Girl, that's the whole thing.
No?
We gotta bleep that whole thing out. Let's fast forward.
I was like, I'm missing the point. But okay, you got it.
Okay, so, yeah. That's one thing that I want to say, and then I guess I'll save some of the other things for some other times because we got to get into the rest of our episodes. So, did you also just do your catch up at the same time as your extra thoughts?
I think that's all
okay.
together. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to run through some things and we don't have to get into it. But I'm also just like, okay, from that last episode, while we're still in the extra thoughts, I was thinking like, you know how, I called Brokey to his face? I just thought like maybe we could spend a couple seconds like talking about that. Like, what do you think about that? Blah,
You
blah, blah.
crack me up. Just know you crack me up so much because No way. Girl, you can't let them catch the nickname, okay?
I
You
messed
can't be
up.
slipping like that. You tripping.
Yeah, I
But the
was.
fact that you got caught was hilarious. It's like,
I'm a
damn, if it
rookie.
was me, I would be done. I'd be like, you know what? Just lose my number. Okay.
But he already knows. It's not like a surprising nickname. So there's that. I also wanted to talk about when I see somebody who you've exchanged numbers with in real life, in life
Oh,
again.
yeah. Off the record?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't really have. Okay, so the update is, what was it? The last episode where I talked about it? No, because no, the boy is mine. In the episode, the boy is mine. I was talking about how we were at off the record, and I met a guy, and I couldn't hear because it was loud, and he spelled his name in my ear. And how
Very
that was hot
sexy.
and very, yes, loved it. Great tip for everybody. Okay, just say you can't hear it as long as it makes sense that you can't hear. Otherwise, we might be thinking something about you, but that's fine. Disabilities, we accept you. But anyway, saw him again in the same venue off the record. And it was very
That's
interesting because we interacted briefly, but I was just kind of like, I'm not going to stay and talk to you some more. Like, that's, you take me out on a date if you're intrigued. I'm now here, and guess what? There's other hoes in here that we're talking to. Okay? So,
and it came
I was just
through.
like, okay, was just like peeping that he was noticing that, I'm like, I'm out here. But I'm also just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of off of it because why aren't you being intentional? Like, you watch my stories. Why aren't you trying to see if we're going somewhere? I tried to ask him out and say, hey, you want to get drinks before you and I had dinner plans? We went to go see Sheree's birthday or something like that. So I was just like, you want to get drinks? And he's like, oh, yeah, I can't. I'm not feeling well. Okay. You didn't want to
You don't
reciprocate with an
follow up?
invite. You didn't want to ask me. No, nothing. No follow up. No nothing. And I know he's been like out of town just because on his stories I see like some things. I know he had a birthday and he was out of town and blah blah blah. But where we at? Has it been a month at least? So yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? So I'm not sitting here waiting for you, and I'm not trying to have you waste all of my time outside. This is me trying to collect other people's numbers, and get in other people's spaces and energies who might actually want to do something with it. Dr. Seuss, also take a note. So all of you. Anyway, I wanted to say that, and then one thing that I wanted to say that I haven't said, and I meant to have said it in a while, is that someone left a comment on Spotify. So
Did
if you have
they?
been listening and you haven't left a comment, definitely do that ish. Let us know what you're thinking about, or if you're just trying to chime in on the conversation. We want to hear your thoughts and what you think about. This is an
Okay.
episode where I talked about lube, and giving a lubrication recommendation. And this individual also gave a different lubricant recommendation.
What?
Yeah, I forgot. I should have wrote it down, but we don't have time to really like super get into it.
Not
So if you're
them, not them
looking for
comparing
their,
notes as far as like, well, let me know. What's up? You don't know the other brand that he said?
it's not on the top of my mind, or like I don't have it right with me. I would have to go into the app and like look it up. But yeah, I appreciated that. So this is your reminder
That's
to
funny.
engage with us. Okay, we have social media. Y'all should check us out. You should leave comments. We're on YouTube. Okay, leave a comment, rate, review, subscribe, all the great things. So okay, those are all the things that I have
You can
for
do it. You
the
can do it.
and I don't even have time for my catch up either. I went to the Missy Elliot concert. I'll just say that high level. I love nostalgia. I appreciated it. I was like, I know these songs. Oh my gosh, memories. I didn't know Timberland was gonna be there, but he opened up. First and foremost, the show started on time, so this was
Hey,
definitely
I
for
heard
the
that.
millennials.
We love that because T-Pain, I know T-Pain was just starting his thing over and he's just, getting back out there. But like don't have us wait. We are millennials. We are in our 30s. We have places to be. We have to sleep. So don't start your concert 2, 3 hours after you stated. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:30, and then you don't get on stage until like 10. Like I'm already drunk and tired. My shoes hurt. Okay.
Okay, seriously. Um, I'm just gonna acknowledge the fact that you're a little bit behind from your voice and your whatever in my ears and whatnot, but we're gonna
I'm
keep
annoyed.
pressing forward. I'm
This is
sorry.
why this is, and this is new Wi-Fi, so I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
because
sorry, I
I'm the
can't get into the
guest.
comments for my phone. Oh, you think? Maybe we should switch it up. We'll try it a different way. But yeah, okay. So yeah, the Missy Elliott concert was great. Timberland, honestly, I was living my best life because what I really appreciate is that I like variety. Like I liked that, like, okay, when Timberland was going, he had like his JT songs, his Nelly Furtado songs. Like he was doing all the songs from like different like things because he touched a lot, right? He's a producer. Like he has a huge influence. So I was just like getting my life because I was like, ah, oh my god, ah, oh my god, ah, I remember this song. Okay. I really appreciated that. Busta Rhymes, he was cool. He's so freaking funny. He's so funny because he be talking to the audience and like I appreciate an authentic soul, and I can see that he feels very authentic and genuine. You know, Sierra also was on the tour, and you know she was doing the best that she could. I think she was. I think she was.
See,
I think she was good. I enjoyed her. Great performer. I think her mic was on. But she's healing. I think she got a C-section. And I think she's like healing. If she didn't get a C-section, she just gave birth. Like not too long ago, right? It's only been a couple months. It was this year.
how long was her set?
Great question. I don't know. Maybe like a half hour. Maybe like
That's fine.
25 minutes.
That's good. I didn't expect her to be on tour this soon. I don't know why, but tour money is good money. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah. And so obviously it was Missy's show. So Missy was great. Honestly, I think I enjoyed Sierra and Busta Rhymes and Timbaland. Like I enjoyed, but I was already getting tired. So let me be real that my tiredness was influencing me. But you know, she did great. Yeah, everything was great. This is I just bought this ticket 2 hours before the show. Okay, I was in a row literally by myself for most of the show. But there were people in front of me, and it was fine. I felt very comfortable actually. I think that actually helped me. I was like, there's not too many people like that are gonna judge me that I'm like literally standing here by myself. I was like, oh, there's no one really around. I'm in the literal back. There's no one like looking at me except for the people who are like sitting in the raised seats or whatever that are kind of like behind me. But I was just like, whatever. I'm having a great time. So I had a great time. Shout out to Arlene. We made it 17 minutes into the podcast. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah. All right. That takes us into our extra portion of this podcast. We gonna talk about a couple different people. I feel like, oh, like should we get into the big news or should we should work our way up?
we
You
gotta
know about
work our way
Amazon,
up.
so go
Now,
ahead.
how's my voice compared to my movements? Maybe if I shouldn't move so much.
You're still delayed, but maybe if you come off camera and back on camera really fast, that might
Let me
help.
try that. Let me try that, y'all. Excuse me.
Yeah, because your words, your mouth starts moving before I actually start hearing anything that you're saying. So,
Okay. Still the same?
why
Still
are
the
you frozen?
same? I'm
You're frozen
frozen?
just like this. Oh, now you're moving.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a
Um,
little better, but you're
a
still
little
delayed.
better.
But continue. Amazon, go ahead. You got it.
Amazon. Okay. So we all had Prime. We heard of Prime Day. That was the 16th and the 17th of July. You know, this is where you're going to get these great discounts on Amazon and they're going to come to your door in 2 days or less. Okay. So these deals that they speak of, people are talking about how, these prices don't seem much different. So now this is a personal story from me. When I was thinking about moving for real, I was saving some items, some new furniture in my cart because I don't do the list like that unless I have something separate I want to save for. If I just see something and like it, I'll put it in the cart and just leave it there. You know, I'll take it out when I want it. Or if I need something, I'll just do buy now. Y'all know how this works. So, I saved this bed frame. Like, oh, this is cute. I can get with it. It was like $169. I'm like, wow, this is really cheap. This is okay. And they said, oh, 300 something dollars, to 169. And so I'm like, ooh, nice. So I save it, put it in a cart. I'm like, I'm probably not going to get it because I don't even know what's going to happen for me. Why I come back several days later, it's still the same price. It's what day is it? The 21st. I just wanted to double check. You know, it's the same price. So there's several conversations online and people want their money back because a lot of the stuff that has gone off of Prime Day is actually cheaper or was originally that price anyway, and they raised the price on Prime Day just to quote unquote discount it so it looks like you're saving money. So somebody said there may be a lawsuit behind this because this is something that, I've noticed, I peeped, but I didn't know anybody else did. So we'll go ahead and share. I'll share the guy that has been following this story. He's gonna make several parts on it, but he thought he saved so much money. He bought a ninja, he bought a cow something for his cat, he bought a mattress, and he went back and all these things were the same price or cheaper or had new coupons attached to them after Prime Day. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that when a company is led by someone like Elon Musk, that we
How was
shouldn't.
Jeff Bezos?
Who? Amazon?
Jeff Bezos is Amazon. Elon Musk is Twitter and Tesla and other items as well. But no,
Oh.
Jeff Bezos is Amazon. They're all up there. They're all evil. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know much about Jeff Bezos really, except for his wife divorced him, right? And then she
Mm-hmm.
started donating all her money to something else. Anyway, what do I think about this then? I mean, capitalism. I mean, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't expect much from really wealthy companies. I feel like even in my own personal life, I do still use Amazon, which is really unfortunate, but I try to like shop smaller. Like I just try to one because I usually can't just like fathom paying for like big designer whatever, like billion-dollar corporations and things like that. Like I don't know, I can't imagine paying for them, but then I'm also just like there's no good in y'all. Y'all are I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying I don't know a lot. I feel like the scams are probably really unfortunate. I think everyone should get their money. I don't think that people should be advertising things that they really aren't advertising. You can't lie to folks. And it's hard out here. Okay, people do look forward to these deals, like you're saying. Like people do like put in work and effort to try and do their research and like save and like really try and be like conscious consumers, and you are really impacting our ability to consume consciously, right? Like making the best decision for ourselves, doing the research. I don't know, it's really unfortunate because we rely so heavily on these types of services, and we think that people should be trying to, I don't know, just help us, like, and they're really not. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
The price hacking in itself is a poor practice, but unfortunately, you're right. We live in a capitalistic society, and it's been irritating me. And I'll have more thoughts on this in a later date, but um, there's just no innovation. People feel like they could just be sneaky to make more money instead of being innovative. If you created something that people can't live without, no worries, it'll sell itself. But you decided to, hey, you guys, because you got all of these workers that you're quote unquote laying off because Amazon's laid off so many people, and you're pushing these drivers and all of these people, like you're making people work around the clock for something that obviously it's the same price. Like, what are you doing? It's poor, it's poor, it's unethical in my opinion, and you're probably going to see something about this coming up pretty soon. So what are y'all thoughts? Have you purchased anything for Prime Day? Did you notice anything different? Did you save money? I need to know. Okay, now we can go into our other evil billionaire.
Clearly, I wanted to talk about Elon really like deep. But yeah, I mean, so Elon is funding is supporting Trump's campaign. I heard that he is giving $45 million a month to Trump till the election.
Can
So Trump
I
is.
get a million?
Can
Stop
I
talking
have
about you, Elon, if you
100,000?
give me some money, okay?
Like, I mean, yeah, I should ask for bigger numbers, but I'm just like, I will start with what would you do with an extra $100,000?
Well, half of that's definitely going into a high yield savings account. And I'm probably going to invest like a little chunk of that into some high risk schemes or whatever. They're not really schemes, but just,
High risk schemes.
they're
Okay,
not
scammer.
schemes. They're just high risk accounts that you can invest in that, very volatile, but why not? And then get myself out of debt. Like pay off these student loans and shit. Relax. A new apartment. The fuck?
I know that's right for sure. I think I would do the investing, not the risky ones, because no. But I would probably invest some of it. I think I would pay off my loans for sure. Let's do loans that I have. I think I would. I want to start a business. I want to start something on my own. I don't like working for institutions. But yes, anyway, so basically, if somebody gave me money, I would want to be buddy with them as well. And so Trump and Elon, they're having a grand old time. Trump's now like changed his whole tune on Elon because that they hated each other because of X. Now I get it. Yeah, I'm with you because
Twitter.
Yeah, anyway, so
X. It's all the same. Sears Tower, Willis Tower, whatever.
No, I feel like I know people are really like tied to Twitter and want to keep calling it Twitter, but I'm like it's a different platform now. Like it's a different platform. The ownership, the lack of guardrails and protections and safety on the platform. It's a different platform. I don't think we're gonna be able to. I don't know. It's a different platform. So if y'all want to call it X, it's really fine because
might as well because that's all you do is watch porn on there. So.
Yeah, I check it out every so often. I don't tweet nothing, but I hope y'all really can look at my searches because I'm trying to find some good stuff on there.
Girl, bookmarks, okay?
Okay. So yeah, that also leads us to that the breaking news. Biden has dropped out. Literally 2 minutes before Jackie and I were going to record this podcast, Biden posted on X, and I obviously saw it on Instagram, his letter to the American people. I'm like, should we read it? Should we take a moment to
I was
tell
just
the people what he said? Or at least, I'm like, at least just a part of it. Should I read the whole thing or a part of it?
I would say the middle portion and then the end.
Okay, the middle portion. Okay. He basically started with thanking America and talking about all of his accomplishments. So maybe we should just read it because he says, my fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. I'm also blind, so I'm going to bring this closer to my face so I can actually see what I'm saying. Today, America is the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to a million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today that we always have that there is nothing America can't do. We do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. Joe Biden. Okay. What did you think when I literally was like, Jackie?
I was like, I thought he was going to do it a little later. So this is quicker than I thought. I'm being so serious because I think the debate in itself, when we were in DC and we saw the debate, and then this whole situation with Trump, and then Elon, and then his own party, it was coming. You saw it coming on the horizon. I'm not surprised. But I'm very proud of his decision, actually.
Okay. Why proud?
I'm proud because as someone who has worked with the geriatric population, again, I don't think older people after a certain age they don't need to be taking on positions like this because the presidential position puts a lot of stress on you. I don't know how his mental capacity, is going to be, but it is on the decline. Now, there's going to be some other stuff you'll talk about, but I'm focused solely on the health. Nurse Jackie right here. I don't think that he is in the right space to make these decisions against something as big as Trump is at this point. But I think he made the right decision. You want to have your whole party behind you 100%, like we were in 2020. But things are a little different now.
Yeah, I agree that I feel like this was going to happen, but I thought it was going to happen later. Now, what is later? Because it's July, the end of July, and the election's at the top of November. So I don't really know exactly what later would have been, because then the questions come up of like, well, who is the replacement nominee? Like, and then if you wait too long, are you giving them enough time to really shine? Are you giving them enough time for the American people to really understand who they are and trust them and have a relationship with them? Like, if you waited too long, like, to me, I think about some of those impacts. So, yeah, from a timing perspective, it should have been earlier. It should have happened earlier, at least the top of the year, if not honestly last year,
last November.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, from a health perspective, I think that a lot of us were very concerned on his ability to really think. I think that after we did see the debate, I think we were going into the debate really hoping that we would see this spring chicken, that he would really prove to us that he's nimble and able and capable and like could really like, I don't know, speak to the people that we have different stakeholders with and like influence the American people and give us, I don't know. And he just wasn't showing that. I think that's the biggest consensus, is that he really didn't seem like on top of his game. It actually seemed really much worse, I think, by physically seeing him in a I don't know how long it was, 90-minute setting, if that's how long it was. Yeah, I don't think that was helpful. So I think that kind of, I don't think that he was planning to exit himself. I honestly don't think that he is making the decision himself to not run for re-election. I do think that there's probably a ton of people that are influencing him. Now, do I think it's the right decision? I struggle because, again, who are we trying to rally behind now? Right? Like I think when you think of Biden, right, you kind of just think of Obama. And I think from like an influential group of people who make or break a lot of elections is the youth and the black population. And I think that we all really loved Obama. And so when you're just like, well, who's second best? Obviously, it's Michelle, and she's not running. So who else can we get behind? It's going to be Joe. However, again, with everything happening from his mental health perception, the decline of that, and also the genocide of the Palestinian people. I think that we couldn't really go with the go. we couldn't go with Joe. Okay, so I think that the pressure for him to step down was truly building, but I don't think that it was his decision. But I think that like I don't know, I'm very much so like everyone's like, okay, so Trump's gonna win. And I kind of am leaning that direction. I'm leaning that direction because I'm like, again, who are we really going to support? Like, who is it that we feel like is this prominent presence that is a little bit more progressive? Because I think that that's what we want to see is like people who are more progressive. And I just don't know who has been really shaking things up enough to be that voice. Now, obviously, I think from like a financial perspective, there are impacts as it relates to like who his like donation funds can really go to. And again, I'm not super technical and all of this stuff, but like I know that like it can't just go to somebody random, right? Like people, you have to give your money. Like people gave their money to Joe, like the campaign, the Democratic Joe party, the current people, right? Like you can't just be like, okay, well, we're just going to give it to somebody else. That's not how that really works. The only person who can have like the funds that he has been raising is Kamala. And we know that we need money, right? So when we're talking about ad campaigns and whatever else it takes to be the president, you need some money. And so right now, Kamala is going to get that money. Now we know shortly after his announcement, he did say he endorsed Kamala Harris. So that's a positive because hopefully anybody who still was rocking with Joe and was like going to vote for him is now just going to kind of put their faith in Kamala. But I don't think that enough people like her for various reasons, things that she has voted on in the past, as well as like the fact that she's been completely like silent until they really need to like brush her out into the center stage. I don't think people are really
hasn't been showing up. But then again, for all vice presidents, do you really see them? You know, I didn't really hear from Joe until recently. He became president, honestly.
But even from like that, so yes, that is definitely what I think. Like, yeah, do we know her? Do we rock with her? Whatever. And also, just like we couldn't get Hillary Clinton. Okay. People really didn't want a woman in the White House. So you think they want a black woman now? No. So and you mentioned that you think that like the best chance that she would have is if she picked like a white man as her VP. I don't know. I think after Trump's assassination and like everybody really being like, oh my God, we got to rally for this man. He almost died. And everybody's wearing bandages now.
Napkins over your ear. Y'all was trying to look like Nelly.
Stupid.
Disgusting.
So dumb.
And I say,
yeah, I'm just very scared. Go ahead.
Kamala has her past and everything, but just in general, when people think of like black women in these higher spaces, despite what you think, and well, not what you think, but just like you as in like the world, a black woman is probably one of the best chances you have to save a country like this. We are very hardworking. We're very loyal. At the end of the day, we want to see our children, and we see this country as our child because we gave birth to it, literally. We breastfed it. We raised it up. Like, we're the reasons why this is a powerful country today. And for you to not see a black woman in in that position of power to lead us in the right direction, to save not only our economy but our children, why not? But again, you know, when you have certain people in place in power who, in my opinion, are ignorant, and just see everything as a threat, this country will crumble. We've are unfortunately, Rome is about to fall, because what I'm seeing right now, the fact that Elon decided to give all his Tesla money to Trump's campaign, it's giving, they're going to lead like a wave of propaganda. It's giving Hitler, it's giving all of the things. And it's completely out of our control. I hope this younger generation sees that at the end of the day, these corporations run this country. And it doesn't matter how hard you work. Whatever they want to do is whatever they want to do. And it makes me sad. But I do think that if you did choose somebody that was, you know, I don't know, you remember, we watched Amanda Seales and Funky Dineva talk about who could run. I did write down their names, so I'll go look for them now. But, you know, they were both speaking on two people specifically. Was it Budapest or as this other person too, Roke? I gotta find the names because I don't want to mess up their names, but I gotta look into them because they may be our best shot. 1 second, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You're sad. I'm very sad. I'm feeling very hopeless, and I don't want to feel hopeless. Like, I want to believe that like things are gonna work out, but I really think that we are in. I'm like, I know people have been joking about like a third civil war, but I really think that we're going into that direction. I really think that we're about to have a huge, like you said, the Roman Empire is falling. Like, 1,000% think that we are about to get turned upside down. And it's one of the things that I think about beyond my family trauma and reasons why I don't procreate. But it is a huge other reason of like, why would I want for somebody that I'm supposed to love so much to be in this world, in this environment? I don't. So, I think silver lining is like, now more than ever, we all need to play a part. And it is beyond voting. It's even beyond voting in like local elections. It's like we all, like, that's very important. And we definitely should do that ish. But like, what can we do to contribute to our community? What role can you singularly do to contribute to your community? Right? And I'm not saying you need to create something, but maybe it's like, what do you care about? Right? And go and support that local organization. This is the Just Advice. We have not finished the episode, but like, the Just Advice,
keep it going, girl.
is go into your community and figure out what it is that you are passionate about. Is it food insecurity? Great. Work and figure out what the local, food banks are to contribute and make sure that the word gets out. Is it homelessness? What are you doing for that? Is it education? What are you doing for that? Is it climate? What are you doing for that? Like, what is it that you individually care about that will support the community? Because that is what it's going to take. It's going to take every single person really supporting the community. And we have to get out of this individualistic mindset that like, as long as I'm Gucci, then everything's fine. They're coming for you too. They are coming for you too. All right. Who'd you find? And then we got to move into your birthday.
Okay. So I found it. I don't think I said their name. I wrote it out correctly because I heard it. Beto Rock or Roke and Budapest or Budapest. I don't know, but we'll find it. Do you know
Beto,
what I'm saying? Like Beto? Is it Beto Rock?
Is that what you're saying?
Is that? These are just people that I've heard. And I couldn't write down their name because I didn't have the closed captions on, so I wouldn't know how to spell their
It's
names.
like Beto was running for governor of Texas, was he not? Um, which I voted for him, I think, and obviously Abbott won. But then Buttigieg, if that's how you say that person's name. I've heard the name, but I don't know much about like policies wise, like what he has done. So yeah, we all. I mean, maybe they are announcing it right now as we speak. But right now, what we have is an endorsement from Joe Biden for Kamala Harris. So you know, maybe we'll talk about it in a future episode.
And I'll say this is now, I guess, my last piece, and I guess we can get to a funner part of this episode. Well, it's not really fun because we're
Is it fun?
reflecting on life. I don't know. Um, but the people, they said the 90s kids were kind of like shocked right now because we didn't live in a country that was so polarized, like they just polar opposite like this. The things that we see now, like blatant racism and just, people just literally saying none for you, um, was something we read in history books. And to see it all unfolding in front of us is so interesting. And this is why they did not want the slaves to read. That's all I got to say. And that's my piece from that. Do with that what you will. That's when anything happens, I instantly go to that phrase. And this is why they did not want to teach you all how to read.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, we have a few minutes left in this episode. It is considered my birthday episode because um by the time the next episode drops, I will be a fresh 32. It's crazy because where did the time go? I just turned 30. I just turned 29. Like, it's crazy. But we'll call this like a mid-year check-in too. But just to reflect, it's July. Uh, Life has just been lifing. I feel like every time I come on this podcast, I have moments of complaints, and I don't want to feel like that all the time. I know this is just a phase in my life, and that, you know, hopefully the air that's blowing into this. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, hopefully everything's fine. Well, we already 47 minutes in, so can't really help that. Um, because the vent is kind of doing, I'm starting to feel the air come
It's
like
okay, girl.
directly on the
Just
mic.
keep going. You good.
I didn't want to be, I don't like being a complainer. I really don't. Um, I want to look back and the fact that I actually, accomplished a goal I set out to do 5, 6 years ago. I'm very happy to be here, to have it done. Um, I'm happy that I am, employed, no lapse in employment at all. Despite how tired I am, I've found a job very fast. Luckily, that has been something that, you know, I haven't had an issue with, but I am going through a bout of depression and anxiety right now. And I've had to actually like sit up and say like that, no, this is a reality. Did I think I would be here having this headspace? I should be excited, you know, but I'm just not, I just not adjusting well. And, I'm so thankful for my friends, because you guys have helped me in certain instances. We go out, we'll go out to eat and stuff like that. But, you guys are a good ear. But, you know, I don't know. Big Mama's not doing well for her birthday. Okay. So,
I
you
hate
hear
that for
me.
you.
Yeah.
I want you to be, because I think when I think about, again, the success that you have had at the start of the year, I just wanted you to keep with that momentum. And I know it was stressful, but I'm like, it was still success, right? And, even your new job right now is still success. And I just don't want, you know, some of the things that are beyond your control to really make a lasting impact on you, right? And I get that it's just like it's a unfortunate timing, but I don't want it to be like this is going to be the setting the tone for anything like moving forward, you know? Like maybe the actual birthday celebration, whatever. I still it'll still be a listen, we gonna lift your spirits, okay? But like I get that, you know, it's a day and time and everything around that is a little bit chaotic right now, but I don't like that for you. Sorry, continue.
It'll be okay. I know I'll be okay. Um, I have to look at the positives. Like, girl, you passed a test that a lot of your classmates didn't pass. Because I've heard back from some people they didn't pass. And like I said, there are people who they've graduated 5, 6 years ago, still can't pass. And that's crazy to know. But we passed this test. We have this job. My I put in my last day at my job, and well, my the job I've been working at. They are wishing me very well. Nobody is upset. They knew it was time, and they just want to wish me well. Um, I think what it is just fear of the unknown. And when I don't have any personal control over things, I kind of freeze. And I don't want that. I will hopefully have a good update as far as my birthday goes. I'm gonna get back to my home Thursday, and then I'll have those 3 days to kind of do whatever I want to do. So I'll just be prepared for whatever if I do come up with something. But I'm going to be faced with a lot of challenges, and a lot of these challenges I've created myself, but also they are out of my control. So these are things I just got to focus on. And I think the first step is admitting the problem. So that's it.
Yeah. I think I want to give you some grace in maybe a second challenge that I'm thinking that you think that you created. And I don't really think that you created it. I think that you were being a nice human being and were clear in your words about your intention. And I think that other people were delusional. You should not feel bad for other people's delusion. And I think that you showing up and being a nice person, you cannot punish yourself for that. You cannot think that that is not the right way to move about the world.
I'm always going to be nice first. I just hate that sometimes that, you know, I will, when I do step out in the world as a good person, you're just going to run into people who want to see that and take advantage of that, you know? And I mean, unfortunately, sometimes I'm not so nice my damn self. So, um, but
Yeah.
I just want to say this is coming into
Okay, well,
this year. What? What happened?
I was just gonna ask, well, what are you looking forward to? I was like, I know this is the things that are going bad, but I'm like, what do you want for your next year of life? What does that look like?
I know next month's check's gonna look real nice because we had some layering going on. So I'm very happy about that. And then I have access to additional funds after I leave this last job. So, and that will help me catch up with some things and have give me a head start. I'm excited about that. I'm excited that I I'm I'm excited to meet new people, you know. Erlene's mom was like, girl, you will be meeting everybody, and you are a lovely lady, so you will be meeting all the men's. So, I can't,
Yes.
I want my aura to be, you know, sweet. I want my aura to be light. I felt like there's been this dark gray cloud over me, and I don't want to carry it, but I have to understand like my life goes in peaks and valleys just like everyone else's. So I had the height and peak of, and it's funny if you listen to the podcast, you kind of can see like when graduation started, it just kind of like was coming down, and I felt it, and I felt like this, you know, nobody anticipated I would be displaced for like 2 weeks, as I starting my new job. and but I don't want to
I'm
I don't
like,
want to
why do I?
I don't want to like continue to feed these issues with alcohol and drugs and all of this stuff.
Okay, me too. Part of me is like, I feel like I'm hiding from my therapist sometimes what I do with my time, because I feel like that's a problem. Not a problem, but it's just kind of like we know that we are self-soothing, right? And so like, yeah, it just seems like a scary exploration at the same time. But yeah, I'm just co-signing what you're saying. I see you. I feel you.
Okay. Well, I guess as we wrap this episode down, just I can foresee a dry August, maybe. I don't know. I can see that in my future. Um, Not for you, because you need to try some port wine in Portugal and all that good stuff. So, uh, but I could see myself taking like some time to like reset and reflect. We'll talk about that more next episode. I think the extra thoughts for next episode, I'll expand on it. But when people say your life ends at 30, no, it's just getting started. It's just that now your mind is open and you're aware of how you're really coming into this world, because nobody will feel sorry for you as a 30-year-old. See, people give a lot of grace to the 20-year-olds because you're a freshman, you just got in here. But now you know your way around the school. You already know what you did. So it's time to take accountability. So that's what I'm doing. This next part of the year, I'm taking accountability for myself and also feel my feelings a lot. I've been feeling my feelings greatly. I mean, my period started recently too, but
Good.
you know,
Oh,
but I have been like, even with the situation yesterday, when I had that weird awkward exchange with an old friend, uh, shoot, I felt my feelings in that moment and then it was gone. So it felt good.
okay, good. Yeah, tap into those feelings. Okay, I know you're all fire,
Because my
but
first instinct is to blow bitch up. Okay, like it's time to fight. Because the part of me is like, now if I walk back in that house and start some shit, I'm the bad person. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. But anyway, that's another story for another day. We are talking in code. Oh my god, sorry y'all.
ah,
Just know
have you
I
ever wanted to
saw.
blow somebody up? Okay.
No, I just be wanting to blow shit up. Like I'm going to yell. It's time to like. Oh, I'm gonna disturb everybody's peace. So my instinct is to fight first, and then we talk later. But as I've grown up, I had to learn to like, let's stop, let's pause, let's reflect.
Mm, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I support that. Great additional advice for our just advice segment, which has
Okay,
been sprinkled in throughout this whole thing.
right. Okay, well, I guess we can
But
end it off
if
here,
you
right?
yeah, if you have advice or questions for myself, Jacqueline, feel free to send us an email. We have an email. It is justextrapodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We would share it on the podcast. If you would like, we keep you anonymous as well. So feel free to communicate with us, connect with us. We're on Instagram and TikTok at justextra_podcast. Jackie is at all things J-A-Y, and I am Erica_stay ready. And we will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.